Have you ever taken an awesome photo only to realize there's something distracting, annoying, or even embarrassing in the background? Well, I'm going to show you 5 quick ways to remove unwanted objects in Photoshop fast and sometimes as easy as a single click. Let's hop right into Photoshop. So first we have the clone stamp tool, and we have this nice photo of the Cliffs of Moher in Ireland, and unfortunately I'm blocking the shot because I'm taking a shot kind of right there on the edge, so that's a pretty long fall. But the clone stamp tool is a great way to remove objects from your image that you don't want. So we'll go over here. It's this little stamp tool to the left, and we will select the clone stamp tool. And with any of these tools or brushes, you can change the opacity, you can change the size of your brush, make it larger, make it smaller, or change the hardness or the feathered edge of your brush. So I'm going to put the hardness to 0. I'm going to change the size up here a little bit. We can always adjust that. And you'll see I click the image and it won't let me do anything because I cannot use the clone stamp tool because the area to clone has not been defined. So what that means is I need to select a source point. So I'll select Option on the keyboard, and you'll see this little crosshair icon come up, and that is where we sample from. So clone stamping works by copying and pasting pixels from one area to another. So we have to select what area we are going to copy and paste from. So I'm going to start here down in the grass, and I'll select this area. I will let go of Option. I'll make my brush a little bit bigger, and then I can begin painting myself out of the image. And that is so cool. So what you'll need to do with this is you'll need to sample multiple times, because you'll see that as I begin painting, well, now my sample area does not necessarily line up. So I will hit Alt again. I'm going to sample from over here, let's say. Make sure we line up that coastline. And look at that. We are just erasing me out of the image. I am almost gone. Hit Option again for another sample. Sample some of the ocean over here, and you can see it looks like I made a little bit of a mistake. I'm copying and pasting myself over a little bit. So what I'll need to do, I'll hit Control or Command Z on the keyboard, and again I will just have to sample again or let go. And as soon as I let go, it refreshes the image so that I'm not copying and pasting myself over again. So I'll just go here quickly, undo that real quick. I'll go over here, quickly paint myself out, and you guys can kind of see what I'm doing to remove myself from this image. So again, be careful where you sample from. You can also sample too close to the edge, and now I have a hard edge right here. So always pay attention to where you are sampling from, and you'll get the best results. So again, just a quick clone stamp here, and we'll make sure that I am completely out of this image. One last sample. There we go. I am gone from this image. So you can see how easily we use the clone stamp tool, and I can go in there obviously and clean this up. But one of the most important tips is pay attention to your sampling, and this will help you very quickly and easily remove unwanted objects from your photos in just a click. And the clone stamp tool is great for objects that are large or small. You'll just have to again resample a few times to get those objects out of your photo cleanly. And obviously, if you spend a little more time and are a little more careful, you can get some great results with this. But you can see how quickly I did this with just a couple swipes of my mouse. I am completely gone from this photo. Next, we're going to take a look at the healing brush. And the healing brush over here on the left looks like a little band-aid. I'm going to click that. I'm going to zoom in on this image. I took this on my phone in Scotland, and I think the sunset looks really great. The only issue is I don't necessarily like these birds. Maybe I think this rock down here is distracting. I can easily remove them with my healing brush. And again, the healing brush, very similar to the clone stamp tool. However, it's a smart tool. So you'll see what I'm going to do is again, select Option, select the area I want to sample from, and I can just paint right over the bird. And what's really neat about the healing brush is it's a smart tool. So what I can do is paint over the object, and it will automatically blend those pixels with my sample pixels. So it does a pretty good job at making things look like they were never there. So if I go ahead and I zoom out, you'll see that our birds are no longer there. Maybe I also want to get rid of this little lighthouse down here. So I'm going to zoom into this lighthouse. I will make my brush the appropriate size, about the size of this lighthouse. And I think we can get rid of this guy in just one click. There we go. Lighthouse gone. And that is thanks to the healing brush. And the healing brush is great for cleaning up spots on skin like blemishes, or removing objects in complex patterns. Like these waves are some pretty complex patterns, but maybe I just want to remove this orange spot over here. This healing brush does a great job at making that completely invisible, like it was never there to begin with. Maybe I want to remove this wave over here. Maybe I think that's distracting. Completely gone. Absolutely gone thanks to the healing brush. Now let's talk about spot healing. So the spot healing brush has a similar symbol up here. It is the Band-Aid with a little selected circle. And what I'll do is I will go ahead. I don't need to select anything. The spot healing brush is actually going to do all of my blending and my sampling for me. So all I have to do is click, and the spot is just about removed. Sometimes I have to click twice. There we go. The spot healing, again, works similar to the healing brush, but it automatically samples the surrounding pixels for you to remove those spots. So I can take just a minute to go through here if I wanted to and remove all of these little dust areas. Sometimes I have to double click, and you can also use the spot healing brush to click and drag and remove longer objects than just a spot. So I can remove those bushes. Sometimes it takes one or two goes to completely remove them because, again, Photoshop has to do some sampling and it has to look around to the surrounding pixels to see what it should remove and then blend those with the other pixels. So you can see here, I have this little hair or a splotch on my lens or my sensor. Boom, gone. All these little spots on my sensor that hopefully you guys can see on YouTube, gone. Just a simple click with the spot healing tool. Now I will say with this tool, if you have larger objects to remove, I probably would not rely on the spot healing tool. I would probably go back and use clone stamping. So for example, if I tried to remove this helicopter, I don't think this is going to go well. It's going to take a little bit of time for Photoshop to think. Not necessarily the best tool for large objects. Leave the spot healing tool for small, tiny imperfections like dust. Next, we are going to talk about the patch tool. And the patch tool is another great way to remove big, unwanted objects. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the patch tool that looks like this little quilt patch over here. Select that. Let's go ahead and find something in this image I want to remove. Let's say, here we go, these oil stains on the ground, they're a little bit distracting. I'm going to click, draw a circle around this oil stain, click my mask, and slide it up. And just like that, oil stain is gone. Let's do that here as well. Click and drag to another sample area, click, drag, select, click, drag, gone. Oil stains are completely gone. And I can go in here and I can clean all of these up. But again, you just have to select around the object that you wish to remove, click, and drag to a clean sample area, and then deselect, and you can see those oil stains are gone. I can't even tell they were there. I can just keep removing as much stuff as I want from this image. Clean up this ground a little bit. Maybe I don't want these snow clumps down here. Look at that, completely gone, completely clean. And now we can focus up here on this part of the image. So again, just draw a nice little circle, select what you would like gone, and it will be gone in as easy as a loop and a drag and a slide. And we can remove a lot of things like this unwanted tower back here. But you got to be careful again when you're getting close to contrasting edges. It is sampling from the entire area around the area you're trying to remove. So you may get these little flares of color, in which case I can use multiple tools. I can use the clone stamp tool and pretty easily get rid of this, again, using a multitude of tools. Just have to be careful. And again, using a bunch of tools in conjunction with each other, I can go ahead, I can clean that up. And now it's like that pole was never there. No more light stand, just a click or two, completely gone. So that is some awesome stuff we can do with the patch tool. Now I want to show you our fifth and final way to remove unwanted objects from our photograph, and that is generative fill. Now I saved this one for last because it's the most, how do I say this, interesting tool in Photoshop. You can do some really cool and creative things using generative fill. However, the results can be a little bit unpredictable because it uses AI. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my lasso tool, or I can use my rectangular marquee tool. I just need to select. And what I'm going to do is select the part of the image that I want to remove. So I have this image from Florida. We are down at Cape Canaveral, and let's say I want to remove this distracting bit of another launch site over here so we can focus on this one right here. So what I'll do is I will select this area, draw a nice selection around it, and I will hit generative fill. Now I will be given this dialog box of what I want to generate. And if I want to just fill this with pixels around here and I want AI to just do the work, I'm just gonna hit generate and see what it comes up with and see if we can automatically fill this. So generative AI has to do some thinking. Photoshop's going to come up with its own idea, and it could vary greatly depending on your image. Look at that. It's gone. And I have three options or three variations here. I can click and it'll give me a new option. That's a good option as well. I will zoom out, and I think that actually looks pretty good. You can see Photoshop created a new layer here. So I can click that layer on and off by hitting our little eyeball. And that looks pretty darn good. It did a great job at matching the surrounding area. And like I said, this can be a little unpredictable. So let's give you guys a good example here. We have the beach, we have the ocean. Let's draw a nice circle out here, a mask. We'll hit generative fill, and let's tell Photoshop what we want to generate. Octopus, monster in the ocean. And hit generate. So this may take a hot minute, and once this is done, we'll check back in. All right, so that only took about 10 or 15 seconds, and we can see we have this funky AI generated octopus that just really doesn't fit the image. And that is partially because this is an example, and I'm just trying to show you guys kind of what generative fill is capable of. We can see our other options. This is creepy, but it looks much better. It actually blends in better. You can see it added some shadows under the tentacles, and the sun actually matches up with the source of sunlight in the photograph. Here's another kind of funky one, but again, generative fill, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just a fun tool, and I love that it creates a new layer so it's non-destructive, so I can turn on or off our octopus if I want to. So those are my top 5 favorite ways to remove unwanted objects from photos. And which tool you use is really based on your preference. There's really no right or wrong. It's whatever you find easiest to work with, and you may use a couple tools in conjunction with each other because they all have their pros and cons, but it's really up to you and what you feel comfortable with. So I hope you enjoyed this video and learned how to quickly remove some objects in Photoshop. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and maybe share this with a friend who's still learning Photoshop. And until next time, get out and go shoot.